Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We're back. Nye County. This is our final segment of the night. Chuck, looks like we got Ray is called back.
Ray, how you doing, buddy?
I just figured I'd call back, Ray the Flagman here, just to make sure I got the call in because somebody may beat me to the punch, and I want to make a couple points. First of all, I've been watching this judicial system for the last 15 years, and it's so out of whack. And Tom, you're absolutely right. As far as the badges go, I mean, it's gone way too far. People are being punished because they're rude to a badge. People are being punished because if a justice of the peace sees there's any kind of inference that there was a rudeness or impoliteness, they're going to get hammered. And I see it in court every day. And I've been watching for the 15 years, and it's getting me more and more upset that this could go on. Now they're putting suspended sentences against just about everybody unless it's minor traffic. And people are going to the slammer because they can't pay a fine. They're going to the slammer because they're late on a fine. They're going to the slammer because they didn't go to DUI school, they didn't complete what they're supposed to do on time, or they got into trouble during the period of time, like 6 months or a year after they were convicted of something. And what happens then, it doesn't even have to be a conviction that you got into trouble. Just the fact that you were arrested puts them in a slammer for 6 months.
Right, and that assumes that the cop is doing the right thing. And you know, I've got this trial going in a little less than 2 weeks.
I know, I'll be there.
Yeah, and I hope everyone else shows up too, and you get to see how polite our cops are and what they do. And if you don't kiss their butts, you end up in court. I can't discuss the facts of my case until I win the jury trial, but after it's over, I'll let everybody know how I really feel.
Well, I know the facts because I talked to the person involved, and I just want the people to know, everybody listening to the show, everybody in Nye County, when you hear the repeat, because this show repeats, that the system is totally corrupt, that they're looking to pin something on us, to extort money out of us. I mean, Sheriff Worley has got these motorcycle cops ticketing everybody for revenue enhancement. This is not the way the United States of America should be. Nye County should take umbrage to what's going on. And I hope you do put Greco's number up, his address again before the show is over. And it's a good show. Thank you very much, guys. Keep the faith, power to people.
Oh, wait, Ray.
We saved them twice. I hope we don't have to save them again.
Okay, Ray.
Yeah, what's that?
Okay, Chuck had something he wanted to tell you.
Yeah, what's that, Chuck?
When my car was broken down and I was wondering if I could make it, I sent an email to Tom saying, you know, if the car's fixed, I'll be here. If not, I don't know what I'm going to do. And he says, well, I'll come and get you if necessary, because this isn't about us. This one's for Ray.
All right. Thank you. Okay, I'll open the lineup.
Okay,
all right, thanks.
And you know, again, everything we talk about week after week, month after month, everything we've seen in this country has deteriorated into a North Korea style. It's a question of degrees is the only thing. We've lost our individual rights. We've lost the level playing fields. We've lost everything this country was built upon.
When you watch a ship that's sinking, you ever seen a video of it? They're going down. All of a sudden they go up, and then they go down. You know, they do that final dance. Right now, America is in the up. Okay, and everyone's thinking, oh, things are getting better. Things are getting better. Only because Trump won, it's not all about Donald, but it was the American people. That's our last revolution, was at this ballot, and we said no to Hillary and all the scum that she, and the Clinton crime family, the Obama crime administration. They're all bad. They're all terrible people, and the fact that the American people did make one last shot at trying to make a change. If we don't turn things around, if things don't get turned around under the next 3 years, the boat is going down to the bottom, and North Korea will look comfortable compared to what we're going to get.
Exactly, and again, the reason I bring up things like what happened at Walmart with the Oath Keeper's hat, people on the highway stopping, it's the people that are going to change this. It's not Trump, It's not any other president. We see sniffs of it going on. But again, we don't know if it's staged or not, the thing in Charlottesville.
Right.
But certainly, the media and everyone is promoting division, us against us. We should all be saying, what are you doing to us?
Someone on Facebook, or was it? I think it was Facebook. Oh no, it was the news, and I think I might have put a Facebook post, but it was describing how somebody was complaining about the Civil War and saying that these Civil War statues need to be taken down, and calling them traitors. And my response was, first of all, they're not traitors. They're war heroes just like anybody else. Yeah. And to say that the South was wrong or bad, yes, it was wrong philosophically to enslave people. But at that time, there was a different type of history, and we didn't even realize. I mean, the Civil War wasn't really fought over slavery anyway. No, it was all over. It was agriculture versus industry, and that was and all the different. And obviously, because the South was agricultural, they relied on the slave to do their work. I get that, okay, and eventually they would have worked themselves out of the program because they were actually very expensive to own and maintain. But the fact that these people, the Southerners and the Confederates, fought for their country, that's not being a traitor at all. The traitors are the ones the ones that are actually in government, that are trying to, the deep state people, the Brennans and the Rices and I mean, if you look through if you want to see a who's who in criminality, look at the Obama administration. You got the worst two AGs we ever had, Loretta Lynch, and I hope she lives up to her name someday, and then and also Eric Holder. Two ne'er-do-well lawyers that got government jobs and were put in this position based upon cronyism, nothing to do with what done. And look what they did. And I don't have the time. It takes hours to get into it. But it's this thing with we're going through right now is it. Now, instead of South versus North, it's liberal versus conservative.
Well, that's what we're sold.
We're sold, yeah. and that there could very well be a war over that because the liberals want to give everything I and you own away, and conservatives want to keep what they've got, and so that's it's a problem. It's a real problem, and I understand where you're coming from. You think the whole system is totally skunked. I think it's pretty skunked, but I don't think it's totally. But if we don't help, though, the people don't start educating ourselves and learning what the real truth is, then we're going to continue to be fooled. And as long as we're being fooled, then the people, like the Clintons and the Obamas and their ilk, the New World Order, they're thriving off of this. They probably would thrive off of a civil war too. They've always got irons in the fire.
Well, bear in mind, we had all Congress that at any time could have done to Obama what they're doing to Trump. Now, again, I'm not a Trumpian. I'm not an anti-Obamian. But this is why the system, in my opinion, is skunked. Because Congress, the Supreme Court, the whole system, just like in Nye County, can change it overnight and should change it. If they were doing their jobs, Louis brought up on our program that when I started talking about these payrolls, he says, this don't work like this in the private sector. If you can't produce, you don't make money. You're not paid.
Right.
And you look at report after report about Nye County, about our health, about our education. It's at the bottom of even Nevada, which is at the bottom of the U.S. Right. When are we going to demand, this $36 million in salaries start doing something? And then apply it nationally.
Do you remember in the Ghostbusters, the original movie, when Dan Aykroyd was talking to Bill Murray, and he goes, "You don't know what it's like out there." Yeah. He goes. In the private sector, they demand results. In other words, the private sector does demand results. Government doesn't.
And the people don't demand it from government.
And that's our fault.
Exactly.
But we're kept stupid by and we're not even taught civics courses in school anymore as a core curriculum. It's insane.
I just watched a documentary on higher education. My granddaughter's starting her sophomore year at UNLV, and it's abysmal what's happened to our universities. The degree of, again, their efforts purely to raise money, again, to pay their salaries, to have these magnificent stadiums, to have all these facilities that the students will be attracted to. They don't spend money on education. They don't even concentrate on, teaching the kids.
And especially when you look at who the professors are.
Exactly. So the whole system, you look at healthcare. I watched another documentary. They compared the 5 healthcare systems of England, Germany, Japan, Taiwan, and Czechoslovakia to our system. And they have arguably way better care, or at least as good a care, for half the price.
Right. Well, what happens if you want to get medication? You go online and you can get what you need, not narcotics, but just regular medications through, and you get them through third world nations,
Sure.
and you can pick them up for pennies on the dollar.
Exactly.
So this is nuts. Oh, I want to remind you that some of our viewers want to see the information from the prison. So when we get down to our last 30 seconds,
No, there
we
you go. Yeah, thanks for reminding me on that one.
But ladies and gentlemen, anybody that's listening out there, it's up to us, not up to you. It's not up to me. It's not up to some nitwit in Washington, D.C. It is up to us to stand on our rights. And people like they roll their eyes sometimes at people like Ray out there walking around with his flag. What's he doing that in the hot sun? Is he nuts? How come what's he doing all that for? Because he wants to be involved, and that's his way of trying to do what he can to help. I do mine through my work, Chuck. This program and other things. But if you don't do anything, and all you want to do is sit around and moan, then we don't want you. You're part of the problem, because anybody can complain, and anybody can identify a problem. Solutions is what we need.
Okay, we got to go. We'll see you next month. Thanks for calling.